Yo, how you doing?
Not too bad. I just want to let you know I rolled all my stats and everything. I'm kind of mid, but I guess we'll make it work, right? It should be.
Yeah, you remember to reroll once, right?
What's up, everybody? It's me, Instructor Bensei, and I am here with Min-Max RPG, a game that we're going to be playing with me, Sellsword Arts, Jacques Z. Whipper, Blumenek, and our lovely DM Tater, who reminded me that I need to re-roll some of my stats. So you know what that means. That's right, more trick shots and more dice rolls with the absolute craziest dice tray you've ever seen in your entire life. Let's begin. In between trick shots, I'm also going to take some time to answer a couple of the burning questions you guys have had. First off, what race am I going to play? Second, and most importantly, what class am I going to play? Seriously, just pretend like you don't know. Just like last time, I'm going to stack an ice block on top of my target stand. I'm going to set a d6 on top of that, smash the entire thing with my giant metal d20, and what it rolls is what I get. Now, with an original stat spread of 9, 10, 14, 11, 10, and 14, I've got 3 rerolls to make. The first one is a 10 made out of a 4, a 5, and a 1 that I should have rerolled. Also, because I'm horizontal, pause. I get to do some trick shots that don't really show up very well for vertical filming, so enjoy. Nice! And absolutely unbelievable. More practice, I guess. Okay. All right, well, I guess that's my first one. So that's gonna put us at 11. You know what, maybe the dice gods just want me to answer your questions. And the first one I wanna answer is just what race am I gonna play? Well, my first thought was maybe I play something like a Goliath, which would let me tower over my enemies and use some really funny meteor hammer ideas, like maybe the helmet of a knight that I've already slain. And yeah, I'm pretty strong, but I'm not crazy strong or crazy big, so I'm trying to make a caricature of me, and that doesn't quite work. I'm also not a super stereotypically aggressive human being, and definitely not known for being it, so things like half-orcs and stuff like that just kind of fall out too. I also thought about being one of the Genasi, because I've always thought those little elemental guys are really cool, and I think it'd be funny to have like a fire dart that I keep accidentally putting out as a water Genasi, or a fire Genasi that keeps lighting it on accident. There are so many fun opportunities there. That being said, when I think of fire performers, I think of bards, and we've already got more than enough of those. Honestly, at the end of the day, most people that meet me will tell you that I am fairly down to earth and extremely human. So I guess for this particular instance, in this one campaign, I can play a boring human. Also, I want that extra feat because this is the min-max campaign and I plan to be busted. But I promise, only in a way that's fun for everyone. Okay, time for roll number 2. This one's gonna be to replace an 11, and I think I hit this die a little too hard. It doesn't seem like it's doing okay, so I'm gonna switch to the white one. And that is a spicy little 4. Which brings what was an 11 up to a 14. You also may have noticed that these dice are a little silly. I like these a lot, but I also may only have one of them now. Just before I answer your most burning question, which is what class is Instructor Bensei gonna play? You guys are ridiculous. Let's make sure that we're liking, following, and subscribing on all platforms for Min-Max RPG, as well as everybody involved. Okay, the moment you've all been waiting for. What class is Instructor Bensei gonna— Although I genuinely considered a fighter. Yeah, so even though I've only been doing meteor hammer work since the beginning of COVID, I've been doing martial arts almost my entire life, starting at the age of 4, and I'm 29 now. So 25 years of it, I teach and have a dojo. I've participated in a lot of competitions and espouse wisdom with the same tact and guile as a leaking dam. Which reminds me of this Zen koan. Stay on task. Sorry. Yeah, if we're making caricatures of ourselves to play in a D&D game, no matter the amount of fantasy there, I am definitely a monk. And probably a Kensei at that. On a side note, I will be making some meteor hammers for this game. I'll try and publish them so you guys can use them in your games, and if you're interested, I'll let you guys know when those go up. But it's gonna take me a second to get those right, and I'm gonna have to go through a couple iterations to make sure it's good for everyone to use, not just my brain. So a little patience. All right, one more stat, one more smash. Let's make this an awesome one. Hup. As an incentive to stay as clean as possible, I'm gonna use this gorgeous little D6. You guys are definitely in the splash zone for this one. Here we go. I can't believe I didn't lose it. It's a 3, which turned this 10 into a 12. So the 3 stats that I re-rolled today were a 10, an 11, and a 10. And now I have taken them up to 11, 14, and 12. Not too bad. Some racial bonuses, some proficiency bonuses, and I should be fairly good to go. Thank you all so much, again, for making this even a possibility. I cannot begin to describe how much I appreciate this. You guys are helping me to live a lifelong dream. This is spectacular. If you guys are interested in keeping up with us, make sure to like, follow, subscribe, comment, and share this to help out the algorithm. Hype it if you don't mind too terribly, and turn on notifications if you want to stay in touch. Take care, stay safe, and I think the water bucket has a quest. I'm gonna figure out what's inside here.